If you like fighting games, beat 'em ups, or just a more fast-paced playstyle, then look no further than the Lightning Fury Amazon Hollow Palm build, which we'll dive into. This video will cover your skills to look out for, as well as the passive skill tree and your attributes to pay attention to. That being said, let's get started. So before we dive into stats and what to look out for, let's first dive into the specifics pertaining to our skills. So overall, I've taken this build to tier 6, as you can see on the right hand side. I've taken this build quite far in terms of maps, so I'd say overall it's pretty good. I can probably go a bit further, maybe as far as tier 10, but of course with due time. For now, Falling Thunder is what we rock with as far as controlling AoE. Tempest Flurry is fantastic for dealing with single targets. Hail of Thunder is just an obvious choice for more AoE. Siphoning Strike is amazing as a great combination with regards to Lightning Warp, which we'll get into very soon too, as well as Storm Wave. Elemental Weakness and Disengage primarily just for defense. Nothing offensive here, it's just for staying away, making sure you maintain distance. But let's kick things off. So Falling Thunder, we have Lightning Attunement, Electrocute, as well as Fist of War 2. Now, Falling Thunder, as I mentioned, is a really great move. It's a great combination that you can use for AoE, and when you are fully optimizing this move, it can do devastating damage quite quickly. Tempest Flurry, we have the same Lightning Attunement, Rapid Attacks 2, and Close Combat 2. And so this really is for when you are engaging in a single target, maybe a boss or maybe a rare. This is great in combination with things like Siphoning Strike or even the likes of Storm Wave that you can just combine, making sure you apply shock all the time. And therefore when you shock, you can Siphon Strike, take that shock off, and then punch them in the face and just do more damage. So that's really important to have. Again, as I mentioned, Hail of Thunder being very strong, it's great for AoE control. Lots of potential in this. I highly recommend using this. So you have Living Lightning. This is a brand new support gem that provides basically an additional set of minions that follow you around. And when they follow you around, any enemy in your proximity will be attacked. Similar to Ravenous Swarm, if you've paid attention to my last video. And this is great because the enemies can't really attack them. They're just there as like a nuisance to them. So it's good for us, but bad for them. So it's really good to have. Recommend this to be placed on most of your slots if you can. In fact, I'd probably put it more so on your attacking nodes like Tempest Flurry or Siphoning Strike or even the likes of Storm Wave, just because it'll get more value. Because the more you attack the enemy, it'll be better for you. Now, we also have Maim and Deadly Herald. Next, Siphoning Strike. As I mentioned, this is a fantastic move. This really takes care of business when you combine it with the likes of Lightning Warp, as well as your Siphoning Strikes and your Storm Waves. All those in tandem, when you combine them, add for incredible amounts of damage, AoE control. It's fantastic. So we have Lightning Penetration, Lightning Attunement again, as well as Rapid Attacks too. And then Ravenous Swarm, as I mentioned earlier, is very, very good. It works similar to the likes of Living Lightning. And now we have Shock, Electrocute, and Bleed 1. So this is great because, again, these are like passive minions. Both your Living Lightning and your Ravenous Swarm, they're just passive minions that just run around with you. They cause damage, and it allows you to just play the game without having to think about them. So I've got Shock, Electrocute, Bleed. So instant bleed, fantastic. Shock is great. Just applying shock for free, always nice. And then Lightning Warp. This move right here really just gives you a great degree of freedom, speed, versatility, because you can just add clear like crazy. The moment that you see a enemy on screen glow blue, that's an immediate press your button and the whole area is cleared out. It's super good. And we're rocking with Considered Casting, Soul Drain, as well as Rapid Casting too. So all of this, now I've chosen Considered Casting because it does more damage and it does sacrifice some cast speed, but this kind of mitigates it. The Rapid Casting too kind of balances it out. So you're getting more damage and then a slight decrease in cast speed, but it's not that much of a difference. It's actually quite good. And then we have Storm Wave. This is, I would say, the main character of this, of this build, just because you're using it quite frequently to, stay at distance, cover your ground, and also continuously apply shock, electrocute along the way. So we have electrocute, rapid attacks 2, elemental armament 2, as well as living lightning 2. So as you can see, we have a lot of living lightning because it's always really good to have more of them. And then we have elemental weakness. Now this I don't use as much, but it is good to have if you are, let's say, in a situation where you have a target or a boss that is resistant to lightning. Having this available can reduce that, allowing you to do more damage. So we have Focus Curse, we have Burning Inscription, as well as Living Lightning 2 once again. Now this Living Lightning 2 on this one, I just had this here as a placeholder. You don't necessarily need this, to be honest with you. I just didn't know what to put here, so I just put that there for the time being. But your most important ones are Focus Curse and Burning Inscription. You can definitely remove this. You don't have to worry about that as much. And then, of course, like I said before, Disengage is primarily just a defense mechanic. Is not for any use other than to maintain distance. If you are in trouble, let's say you're being bombarded by a group of ads that you just can't kill right away, Disengage allows you to go basically, away from them. And then we have Holy Descent, which just gives you the consecrated ground, allowing you to heal if you need to. And that's pretty much it for the skill. So once again, the most important ones to look out for would be Storm Wave, Lightning Warp, Siphoning Strike. Those are your 3 when it comes to dealing with ads. That clears out so much of the map, it's insane. And then Tempest Flurry just being more so for your single target damage. And then Falling Thunder kind of coincides with the likes of Siphoning Strike and Lightning Warp if you need to. And that being said, let's jump in a lot deeper into the passive skill tree and what to look out for there. So here we are at the passive skill tree section, and I've opted for the Amazon Ascendancy. And the reason why is because, one, Huntress is my main class. I use it a lot in most of my streams and in my videos. But also, more importantly, Amazon Ascendancy is fantastic for the Hollow Palm build, most notably for evasion, because on the nodes you get an extra 20%, but also Stalking Panther states that evasion rating from equipped helmet, gloves, and boots is doubled, while your body armor is halved. This is great because when you go to your Hollow Palm node, it states that you'll get 1% more attack speed per 25 item evasion rating on equipped armor items. So when you're able to double your stats via Stalking Panther, that just makes sure that your evasion rating is high, and thus your attack speed is going to be just as high too. So having this is really, really nice. Next, I love Amazon primarily because of this. Predatory Instinct is fantastic because what it does is it reveals weaknesses against rare and unique enemies, and in the footage you've seen on screen is really good because it just does crazy damage. And when you get to the final node in for the kill, you get more movement speed as well as increased skill speed. So you're just going to be attacking like lightning, basically, just super fast. So this is really nice because you're doing more damage, and so you're able to just dish out crazy amounts of damage in quick time, allowing you to just move on and keep on going. So this is primarily why I feel Hollow Palm Amazon is very, very good. Next, we're going to go into the actual nodes. Now, again, I won't go fully into detail pertaining to every single node. I will leave a max rule link in the description for you to check out. But the most important ones will, of course, be lightning damage. So if you can go all the way to the top where the witch nodes are, definitely max out all of your lightning damage nodes. Get anything pertaining to resistances and breaking it, penetrating it, all that stuff is important. Shock duration, electrocute, those are things to look out for. So for example, if we come all the way back down here, we've got the likes of more lightning damage, electrocute buildup. All that stuff is really, really vital to make sure that you just survive. Also getting your herald damage up because of Herald of Lightning. And of course, elemental damage with your attacks, any attack damage on your nodes. So anything here on the monk side, Attack damage is always a benefit. Getting some additional movement speed, some extra mana regen is always going to be good because you'll be using so much mana. So you want to make sure you have enough regen rate to sustain over time. And then of course, AoE, always good. So if you can extend that AoE proximity even more, that's something to look out for as well. And then stalk and leap. This is where I think the potential of Amazon comes to the forefront, because what this does is it increases your melee damage if you've dealt a projectile attack in the last 8 seconds and vice versa. And so our attacks are melee as well as projectile. So you're going to be doing a lot of damage both ways, which just adds additional value to the whole build as a whole. So again, I will leave a link in the description as to what the rest are, but those are generally what to look out for. And from there, you can really dish out more damage. And that being said, let's move on. In this final section, we're going to cover quickly what attributes to look out for and focus on, as well as stats to pay attention to as you're leveling up. So the most quintessential ones will be your intelligence and dexterity, as those really pertain to the abilities you'll be using. And then strength is just a nice added supplement to make sure you are somewhat tanky, make sure your life is a bit beefy. Now, admittedly, my energy shield is complete trash. I did not do a good job of really investing in energy shield. So if you do make this build, I would highly recommend opting for more ES if you can. But mana, I would say, is just as important, if not more important, because you'll be using it so frequently. And because you'll be comboing so much of your skills, your mana needs to be high enough for that to happen. Everything else is a bonus. Spirit, make sure you have anything over 100. It's nice because that way you can run Ravenous Swarm as well as your Herald of Thunder. And then this too, your resistances need to be high. This, I can't stress enough. The higher you go in tiers, you want to make sure that you are maxing out your resistances. So get that to the max as possible. Now, with regards to stats and what to look out for, things like flat damage to physical, lightning damage, anything that gives you max life, anything pertaining to resistances, always great. For your flasks, or rather for your belt, make sure you have additional charm slots. Anything that gives you charges per second is fantastic. Movement speed, definitely get that. Anything with evasion, fantastic as well. And then, of course, you just want to have some regen, because you're going to be running around. You want to make sure you can regen and sustain over time. But most importantly, get that evasion rating boosted up, because that's going to go right back into the skill tree node for your Ascendancy, where you're going to be doubling that evasion rating per item. So once again, just keep an eye out for those particular nodes and stats: physical damage, flat damage, lightning damage. Make sure that your flask have charges per second, and you should be good to go. So that being said, folks, I hope this video has helped you and has inspired you to try the build out. If you have any more questions about the build, be sure to ask me in the comment section below, or drop by my stream when I do go live here on YouTube or at twitch.tv/newfrontier_. That being said, New Warriors, as always, thank you for watching. Stay strong, keep fighting, and may the force be with you all, always. Until next time, take care.